What's up guys, I'm Landon from PureWear and today we're testing out the top 5 basketball performance aids on Amazon right now and letting you know if you should buy them or not. Let's do it. All right, so starting it off with the cheapest product. Today we got the basketball dribble training goggles. So, where's my phone at? Whew, can't see anything with these things on. So these are gonna be, you've probably seen something like this before. I used these a lot whenever I was growing up. They just basically, what they're supposed to do is take away the ability to kind of look down and see the ball while you're dribbling because it's tough to get better that way. That's what they teach you. Don't be looking down at the ball. You wanna be able to see the court. Natural point guards, that's what you gotta be able to do. Helps your teammates. Teammates like that better. So that's kind of what these are facilitated for. Pretty cheap. So we said this is the cheapest one. They retail for $14, on sale for $12 right now on Amazon. So they actually come with like a little shooting guide thing. We got a size small and we actually have one of these similar to this for shooting later on. So we'll focus on the dribbling portion for right now. So honestly, this is a cool tool. You see a lot of people use it. Sometimes they go away from it now. It's not like been debunked as like not working, but it's a top 5 on Amazon product. That's the reason that we got it. So now let's go ahead and see how they work. All right, so these things feel weird. The first thing I noticed is I can't see anything down here. Can't see my stomach. I never thought I'd have that problem. But honestly, they take away the ability. They do exactly like, I'm looking at the camera, I can't see anything. You don't realize how much peripheral vision you have without these things. Like I'll put these up, you don't even realize it. You put these things on, probably mess my hair up, and it's just all gone. Now, look, and luckily, what makes it really tough with these goggles is like, if you lose it and you're trying to like recover it quickly. Because like whenever you can see everything, like you can fumble it and like easily just pick it up, these you have to like back up. You have to like back up because you can't see anything straight down. That's the whole purpose of it. So these, there's not like, from what I've noticed, there's not a lot of standards to these goggles. Like you can't make them a ton of different ways. They're pretty similar in general. Like, so it's gonna be a cheap, like it's not expensive, like we said. It's not super expensive, but I feel like it does its job. Because how could it not? It's just such a, I don't wanna say it's the most simple thing that we use today, but it feels like it is one of those products that have been around since like Bob Cousy or whoever.
Landon, these things retail less than $15. Are they worth it?
$15 for these? Like I said, it's not aged out, but it still has its purpose. It's cheaper, but I don't think it gets much cheaper than this in general. And it comes with the shooting aid that we didn't even use. 15 bucks, check mark it, I'd get them. The next product we're gonna be looking at today is the Flicker Glove. This is supposed to be like a resistance band to help with your follow through. So it's actually kind of cool. They come in this bag, but they give you a few different levels. So, you know, obviously this is level 3. I went straight to it, but the white's gonna be level 1, a little bit more like stretchy elasticity to the band, to the thinner part of it. The orange is obviously gonna be level 2. The black, these right here, they don't stretch too much. So like, I can already feel like I can't keep my hand open. My resting position is like this. Looks like a swan. So I don't know, it's interesting. I've never tested anything like this before. Let's give it a shot. So I left this out, but these three bands do retail for $20. That's what the price is for this like Flicker glove. And before I go any farther, I do want to say they're a little bit tricky to get on. I do have like the most resistant band, you know, level 3 right now, but I slid them over my fingers and then tried to wrap it around my wrist. That did not go well. Now that I think of it, maybe you should put it on your wrist first and then go over your fingers. But either way, these things are super funky. So I have it on level 3, you can see like even my hand in a resting position, like it just feels unnatural. But whenever you start going into basketball moves, and I know this is a shooting glove, but like your hand just almost forgets that it's on there. So now we'll go ahead and see how it feels to actually shoot. Okay, now that felt messed up. That felt a little bit weird. So I do have it a little bit overexerted. I can tell that the resistance is like, but I'm trying to figure out, you know, more resistance in a band. Yeah, like that, it's noticeably different for my shot. Now you have to remember, this is a training aid. So if I were to go back in time and not know what I was doing with my hand, like to follow through, I think the purpose of this tool is to get you to, is to force your hand to follow through. So you shoot it and your hand like snaps because of the resistance there. But for me personally, it just feels like too much because not not like, but I just like don't need it necessarily because I know how to follow through. So I think that's maybe my biggest thing with it is like, I can't figure out if it'd be more useful or if it'd just be a distraction. I don't think it would maybe necessarily form bad habits, but this might be the first thing I found with potential to mess up my jump shot.
So Landon, you know, sounds like you're kind of leaning towards not buy. What's your decision?
$20 for these. I'm sure they have a purpose, but if you're like probably a hooper that's more developed and doesn't want, it's more for the beginners, I feel like. I mean, if you got your follow through down, I grew up on beef. Balance, eyes, elbow, follow through. So these things, I was kind of taught that at a younger age, but it's not bad. $20, it's not too expensive, but me personally, I'm probably out on them. The third product we're looking at today is the Starr Offhand Shooting Trainer. These are gonna retail for 20 bucks too, so kind of in that same price range. So as far as this goes, this is like a little shooting spacer that I haven't personally like really seen before. I think the purpose is to kind of keep the ball off your palm or something like that. As far as this goes, I know this is like the offhand trainer, what they're talking about. And whenever you're shooting jump shots, I know they always teach you that you want to be right hand dominant. This is supposed to be, I think they call it like a guide hand, depending on like kind of how you grew up using it. So I've seen something like this. Never had both of my hands occupied at the same time like this. Let's give it a shot. All right, so I haven't taken a shot in these yet. These things are so funky. I can't even like do anything that I can normally do on the court. So I'll let you see the first shot before we go any further. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay. All right, let's stabilize that a little bit better. Oh, we about drilled that. So the first thing I noticed on that shot, this thing is very slick. That's probably how it's supposed to be. But now that I think about it, I never really used these much. I understand the purpose. Really, I played baseball, so like I used to have to use something like this to feel. But as far as like for shooting, I get the purpose of it. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't let you work on like game type moves, because you can't sit here and like try to step back with this thing on. Oh, unless you can. Look at this. But no, I'm just saying, like, I think the concept is pretty cool. It's only 20 bucks. As far as, you know, the practicality of it, let's see, because I need to stop doing those game movements. It's more for like stationary shooting. And that went straight in. And I know this is supposed to keep the ball like off the palm of your hand, and it actually does. But now I'd have to take it off to know if I kind of do that anyways. But as far as the actual feel for this thing, it's got a pretty practical use, not bad at all.
So Landon, hey, this one's in the $20 range now. Seems like you're kind of liking this one now. Is it worth the buy?
Is it worth it? Hey, this is a 2-for-1. You got whatever this thing is, help keep your hand off the ball, and this, help with that guide. Another thing for beginners, it's training aid. So if it can also help improve your jump shot, get that left hand, if you're left hand off the ball, if you're left hand dominant, kind of force that over to the side. It's got its nice practicalities. It felt pretty good, and I was hitting shots. I might be biased, but they get a green light from me. Next up, retailing at $55 is gonna be the Spencer Dinwiddie endorsed D-Slide. So you get one guess on what these are gonna be good for. Any takers? Anyone? Defensive slides, that's right, good job, class. So amongst other things, this is supposed to kind of help you with your lateral quickness. Doesn't it look like I got some ankle monitors on right now? My goodness, but it looks clean. The design is kind of cool. You got these cables, it comes with the red, which is the hardest, yellow, which is probably in the middle. I'm kind of dealing with the knee thing right now. So I did, with the fingers thing, I went to level 3. The defensive slides were on level 1. But I got the green bands on. You can kind of get an idea of how they look. Like whenever you go left to right, it's meant to kind of expand with you. You can use this for defensive slides like it says. You can also use it for like just different dribbling moves and training. Let's go ahead and see how they play. All right, so the D-Slide is gonna be the second most expensive model that we're looking at today at 55 bucks. But the first thing that we're gonna use that has an emphasis on defense, and that's what I'm talking about. We got some defensive stuff going on today, but before we do that, you can actually use it for offense too. So the main purpose that I've seen Spencer use it for kind of in his breakdowns is more for that quick first step. So you got that resistance. I mean, the faster you can get in and out of that first step, like Carmelo Anthony might have had the fastest first step of all time. What you can do with that is just like practice like that. So you wanna get and work on getting that like right foot out or left foot if you're left-handed. So the main thing for defense is what I'm talking about. Palms up, head on a swivel. This is what we do, but I love the defensive, just like the feel for these. The bands, like one thing I was gonna keep an eye on is kind of how it felt on my ankles. First off, wear high socks. The foam on here is not bad, but if you sweat, it's gonna get like super nasty. So I'd wear high socks, eliminate that rubbing where these attach at the ankle. But as far as like the feeling of it, look at this. Help D, wall. No, I'm just kidding. But look, these you can see it at work. I'm sure you can. I'm actually can't watch myself, but you can just see the resistance. And this is green. I probably could have gone, honestly, on the yellow, even with the hurt knee thing, but the idea behind it honestly seems pretty sound.
So Landon, you know, this is 50 bucks now, not the highest one we're doing today.
But close.
Is it worth it?
$55, man. These things, for defense, we got to endorse it. And honestly, Spencer Dinwiddie said he uses it to get ready for the championship. They feel super nice, and it's really cool. Definitely endorsed. Coming in at number 5 as our most expensive option at $70 is the Powerhandz weighted anti-grip gloves. These things are super cool, and they have a lot of really nice features. The first thing I noticed whenever I was looking is that LaMelo Ball is kind of featured on this page using this product, so I'm assuming he's trained in them before. That's a cool little fact. But something that they do is they added the weight. Actually, each like glove itself weighs 1 pound, so you can definitely notice that. It doesn't sound like a lot. It might sound like insulting to some guys out there, but no, I mean, an extra pound on your hand whenever you're dribbling, that's nice. You also got some good breathability in between, because with heavier stuff and being closed off like this, if you're doing performance and stuff, you're gonna be sweating a lot. That's gonna be a nice feature there. What else do they got? The Velcro straps that we got right here, we'll maybe show you a close-up of me putting those on right now. We also got like some nylon stretch fabric, a lot of cool stuff, but we're not gonna know how they play until we actually try them out. Let's do it. All right, so rounding out the video, we've seen a few different performance aids that help with shooting. We've had some that help with defense. This is gonna be our second one that kind of has a focus to help you with your dribbling. So the first thing you notice whenever you slide these things on, aside from them being heavy, is they are slick. So whenever you're dribbling, I was like, I can't walk out here. I tried to spin the ball on my finger at first. You can't get any grip to spin the ball. So you know these things, anti-grip, checks out. $70. So I mean, if we're gonna compare this to the other dribbling aid, it's an entirely different type of dribbling. It's more to help with your actual control and less with like your focus. Because whenever you can't look at the ball, that's when you're just trying to keep your head up and look around. This I feel like is more for like trying to work on skill type movements. Because I mean, maybe this doesn't look good on camera. Maybe I'm looking better than I think, but I'm honestly handling the ball pretty well with this. But the more you do those movements, like I'll keep doing it fast right now, my arms are getting tired. That's part of it too. And that's good. What's that gonna help with? Fourth quarter, fatigue, stuff like that. Like if you're getting worn out, these gloves, not only are they helping with your ability to like slip it and like try to regain, because I'm looking down way too much right now. I need to go throw those goggles back on. I mean, get both of them, then you can test it out. But as far as the performance goes, like the weight, it's smart that they did that. You probably have options out there of like just weighted gloves that have grip. You probably have options that have like no weight, but just grip. These kind of have like, they make you get better at both. Because while you're dribbling, you definitely feel that fatigue start to set in. I don't know, $70 though, they feel like they got some nice features. Quality is definitely there.
So Landon, is it a gimmick or should you get it?
$70 is expensive. Like we said, it's the most expensive one we checked out, but they feel nice. I can't like, I was gonna try and poke holes in this one more than any other like product that we did. He said it himself. Chase thinks he's look clean, very high tech, high use. If you want to get better at ball handling, $70, do it. That's gonna wrap up our breakdown on the top 5 basketball training aids on Amazon right now. And we got to see some really cool stuff today. I'd say my favorite's probably these like training weighted anti-grip gloves. They're LaMelo endorsed and they have a lot of benefits. Like my arms were getting tired, but at the same time, it's helping with your grip for dribbling too. I'd say my least favorite was probably like these flicker gloves. That's why I don't even really have them on. I can kind of see the benefit to it, but like if you're more of a proficient basketball player, I'd say that's more for heavily on the like the beginner side, but got to see a lot of fun stuff. All the products you see today, guys, we're gonna leave links down below or in our bio if you wanna go and purchase those. And also let us know down in the comments what kind of other training performance aspects or products you wanna see us review in the future. We'd be happy to check those out, but that's gonna wrap up this review. Until next time, peace.